What's going on, y'all? So the new season of American Horror Story is back. American Horror Story 6, and they tried to make this shit like it was a Beyonce album. We didn't know when it was gonna drop, what the title was gonna be, and all this shit. Until surprise, we looked at the episode and it's called My Roanoke Nightmare. And I'm like, okay. So basically, the story of Roanoke, North Carolina, 1792. Is 1792 right? Or 1790 something. It's something 1700s, okay? Almost 1800s, okay? Some settlements. What is it? Some people came over in the settlement, colonized the whole thing, and then they just disappeared. Don't nobody know where the fuck they went and all that shit. So that's what that story is in a jiffy, okay? So the way that they are doing this season, from what I'm seeing, I hope they're not doing reenactments throughout this whole thing. It is like I'm looking at the History Channel, and you know how they have people talking, and then they do the little dramatization as they talking. That's what it feel like, because they got actors playing out what happened. So basically, when we get on the actual episode, we have a white girl named Shelby, and then we got this black guy named Matt. But they are played, these are the actual people that's talking, that's doing the narration and stuff, and they keep, cutting back to them. But then when we see the actual drama acting out, they're being acted out by Sarah Paulson playing the white girl Shelby, and Cuba Gooding Jr. playing Matt. And then Angela Bassett, she comes in later playing Matt's sister. Okay, so they talk about how they met. This is their story. Okay, so Matt and Shelby, met at a yoga class, and he, this was his first time going, and he was like, fuck this shit, seen the white bitch, and was like, okay, cool, we're gonna get this shit on and popping. So they get married, and they want to go to LA, go to California, open up a yoga studio or some shit like that, something dealing with yoga, because the girl, she loved yoga. But they was having the time of their life. She was pregnant, they wanted some kids, she got pregnant, they walking down the street, and next thing you know, they holding hands, minding their business, being all lovey-dovey, and this dude just came out of nowhere and punched the dog shit out of Cuba, Matt, and he just knocks the fuck out. One hit, quit, and that was it. Basically, what they said, it was like a gang initiation, the knockout game. So I'm sitting here like, is this up to date? Because I remember when the knockout game was going on. Them motherfuckers was going around just knocking out any random person just because, for no reason, okay? And so basically, Matt had to go to the hospital. He basically woke up in the hospital because he was, unconscious, and his eye socket was broken. They had to do surgery on that shit. So at that moment in time, they was like, we gonna leave here. We not West Coast people. We East Coast people. So they go over there. This is where his sister was, North Carolina, Roanoke, North Carolina, and go down there. And they just driving, they out there in the woods or some shit, all this wooded area. Like, see, that stuff makes me nervous as it is. It makes me nervous. It's too much ruralness. Is that how you say it? I can't even say that shit right. But you know what the fuck it is. Okay, it's too much trees. Too many trees. Ain't nobody around. The next house is 15 miles down the road, and it's a whole bunch. No, it's just a lot. Okay, this is what white people do. I'm sorry. This is what white people do, and I'm telling you why.
She's white.
He white too. He white too, because listen, ain't no nigga finna be sitting there like, okay, I see all this stuff, I'ma just come up to this field house, this farmhouse that looks so fucking ancient and deserted, and then it's open that you can go inside and you can just, walk around. Ain't no lock on the door or nothing. You just go up in there and you don't even own it yet. Okay? And you get in the history talking about this from 1792 or whatever, and it was this farmhouse and it was this and that. And then all of a sudden we see them doing the auction for it. And you see a couple of these, I guess what they call them, hicks, rednecks, or whatever, country folks that was sitting right there trying to do the auction. They was like, you don't need to be out here on here. You don't need to be down here. You shouldn't take this land. And then the auction, it was like $21,000, because at first they was wondering how they was gonna pay for this stuff because it looked too expensive. And he said, starting off the bid at $21,000. And I was like, that's plus the 10 acres that you got. You can't build on the land and stuff like that. That should have been a fucking red flag right there.
Did it come with a meal?
Anyway, that should have been a red flag right there. First of all, it's a deserted farmhouse. The doors was unlocked. The shit look creepy as fuck when you go inside it. They selling it for $21,000, okay? And I know it's some properties that been like you can sell for $1 and then you fix it up your damn self. But you can't build nothing else on the land. You know, what type of historical point at that point did they know about it? Nothing. All right. So then you got the guy telling you and literally warning you that you don't want to be out here in this stuff. Y'all ain't fit for this. No, you shouldn't. Mm-mm. So instead of, because his ego, Matt, dude was like, 21,000, he gonna say 25. The other dude say 26. And then because of that, something else that he said to him, he was like, okay, bitch, $40,000. I said, $40,000, and plus you still got to go buy the stuff inside the house to clean the shit up. Okay, so they do all that, and basically, oh, I forgot to tell you, when she was in the hospital with old boy, she lost a baby. So she was going through her shit. Mind you, when they buying the house, she already said she feeling a type of way because when she first came onto the property, she felt like they was in danger or something, and she did not want to stay there. But I'm sitting here like, why the fuck you didn't open up your mouth and tell your husband that? I don't care if he really wanted to stay there or not. You got a voice up in this marriage too. I would hope. So they get the house, they in there fucking, and while they fucking, they hearing all these inhumane ass growling noises. I said, what the hell is going on? Do they stop and look and see what's going on? No, they just commence to keep on until the second time. And then he goes outside trying to see who the fuck it is with a flashlight. And I'm sitting here like, first of all, Cuba Gooding Jr. will show his ass at any opportunity. Ever since I seen him in Jerry Maguire, he has been showing his ass just about every movie and every sitcom that he's been on. Okay? He did the same thing on this. Went outside. I said, did he put some shoes on? Because it's like dirty out there, shit. Girl, the garbage is overturned and trash is just everywhere. He got the flashlight. Who out there? Like I'm really going to say, it's me. It's me. My bad. My bad. We was playing. No, somebody threw some shit at him and he still, bitch, at that moment in time, I'm going back in the house, okay? It's time to fucking go. This is why I say he kind of white, okay? Because us niggas, us black folks, like black, no, we just don't. Especially coming from the city back down to, no, we're not gonna do this, okay? He is taking a chance for this woman, all right? But not listening to her because, I can't even say she's taking a chance for him, for her because she don't even want to be down there. So they doing all this stuff and, I think they called the cops or whatever to see who it was, and basically it was nobody. I don't even know if they really called the cops. I can't remember, but I know at one point in time, he had to go to Raleigh, North Carolina, trying to get these accounts at this hospital, and she in the house by herself. So next thing you know, she's cooking or she's playing or whatever the fuck she was doing with whatever she was doing. All of a sudden, we thinking it's Helen outside because you could see the shit on the sunroof. She goes outside and she was like, oh my God. She steps on something and she was like, ow. And I said, girl, what you just stepped on? What the fuck is with y'all coming outside with no shoes on? Y'all don't know this property. Tetanus shots and all this stuff. Y'all gonna get worms, okay? Next thing you know, she been down and look at the stuff. Baby, it's teeth. Like human teeth just pouring down. And she called her husband. He come running. And, he already thinking that this bitch is crazy. But he gonna let it slide. So next thing, she's in the house again, and all of a sudden she trying to cook something, and she hears some noise, and she's walking down the hallway, and these two bitches come walking past, and that was it. I said, you know what? And you still don't really say nothing to your husband about this stuff? Put some cameras up inside, okay? This paranormal activity that is going on, baby, I'm finna go. You don't want to go, you can stay here, but Ashley is about to get the fuck out of here, okay? It's just a little bit too much. Ashley wouldn't have set foot on that property. That's one thing. Okay? We don't do that. They ain't gonna go outside. You just got spooked because you seen two bitches up in your house. But you gonna take your ass outside and get in the hot tub. And not only get in the hot tub, you drinking a glass of wine. You basically floating in that tub, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, these two people just come over and just push her down. Push her down. So she drowning and shit. And once she finally come to, she called the cops, and they called her husband to come back because he was out of town, and basically was saying that it was somebody with pitchforks and torches and stuff like that. And the cops was like, your wife is crazy as shit because it wasn't no footprints, it wasn't no fingerprints, it wasn't nothing. And then, Cuba was like, well, maybe it was the dudes that, them Hicks, that's what he called them, that was at the auction. He was like, oh, the Popes. They really to themselves, so it's kind of hard to find them, but I go check it out. And the cops was just like putting it off like they crazy. And I would have did the same thing, okay? But she all up in her feelings and all this stuff. And he's sitting there like, okay, I still got work to do. So I'm going to go do my work, all right? Before that, they hear this sound again. And he goes outside, opens up the door. And it's like this charcoal boiled ass diseased looking pig just laying there, okay? And I said, all these signs and y'all still gonna stay. Oh, who y'all, what point is y'all trying to prove? Oh, you not gonna run me out this? No. It's time to fucking go, okay? He go out there putting security cameras so that he can see everything that's going on while he gone. He called his sister Angela Bassett to come out there. Mind you, it's 2016. Angela Bassett still look like she did with her hair cut short when she was in Waiting to Exhale. Okay, I'm confused about what fountain she is drinking from because we all need to get a sip of it. Okay, Angela Bassett is in her 50s. All right, and the bitch still look bad, but she look younger than a white bitch. Come on. Right. Well, woo, because I could have said something. Y'all would have been like, Ashley, you're a tad bit. No, I'm just saying. Y'all was thinking it. I just almost said it. But anyway, black don't fucking crack on some of us. Okay, let me stop. Because that is a myth. But for the majority of it, that myth is true. But anyway, we get into her story. Basically, she don't give a fuck about Shelby. Shelby, she basically think that Shelby's job as a yoga instructor or whatever she do ain't shit because she was like, I used to play volleyball in school, all right, and back then yoga was basically stretching. Okay, that's what we call it. We call it stretching before we start playing an actual sport, all right. And her backstory is she used to be a cop, but she went on this call and it was like a crackhead. Okay, it was a crack den. They going up in there. Next thing you know, she hears this baby crying. She go in there. It's dark in there. She see the baby, but then she don't see the other person come out behind and shoot her. So therefore, she had to take pills, and she wound up getting addicted to the pills. She said she went from taking 2 pills a day to 2 pills every hour, and at this point in time, she was taking the pills because she was on her way to become detective. But she had just took 2 pills and she see this car coming past real fast. Kind of find out he was a serial rapist. He go through a construction zone and he can't get through. So he get out the car and he pulls out a gun. She pulls out the gun like, stop, what you doing? Put your gun down. He puts the gun to his head and blow his brains out. Okay, fine. We got that situation, She ain't had to fight nothing, so she wasn't in trouble for that. The cop that was on scene that was writing the report, he goes to her car trying to look for some stuff. Girl, a pen, because his pen wasn't working. Get the pen and find her pills. Girl, they fired her ass. And then not only did she get fired from the force, her husband came in and said, bitch, I'm finna give you a divorce. Mind you, her husband is Lucian from If Loving You Is Wrong. I said, look at you making your round. And the pastor from Empire. Okay, and Otis from Temptations if you want to go further back. All right. So she and her feelings over that. He said, listen, you have crossed the line. You didn't miss picking up your daughter from school 3 times, okay? And that's 3 times more than you didn't touch me in a whole month. All right, I'm sick of this shit. I'm over it. I don't give a fuck if you hitting rock bottom or not. I'm done with your ass, okay? And that was basically the reason that she was going through her shit. That was her backstory. So she comes over there and she's staying in the house with Shelby. Mind you, she got this addiction problem. So she's telling Shelby, I would appreciate it if you don't drink in the house while I'm here. And, because I'm trying to remain sober regardless. Even if it's just pills, I still don't want none of that stuff because it's all in the same family. I'm not trying to do that stuff again. She was like, okay, fine, girl. So Angela is laying in the bed. She hear this creaking. She hear that same howling noise and all this stuff. She trying to go out there and see what's going on. Next thing you know, she in a room. Somebody roll a bottle of wine up in there. She was like, ain't this about a bitch? She come over there, an empty bottle of wine. She go over there and find Shelby. Was like, so what? This your fun? This your idea of funny games? You gonna fucking play games and throw this up in here? Shelby tried to comfort her and say, well, bitch, you look like you finished off the bottle of wine. Just admit it and all this shit. It wasn't me. And they start hearing some stuff. While they arguing back and forth. What wound up happening? Yeah, they hearing some stuff, these noises again, and then they go to the basement cellar. I'm standing here like, no, this is not what we do. And then I guess because Angela Bassett still got her cop mode on, and she not a cop, she was like, I still carry a gun and all this stuff. She don't have that gun with her, all right? She got it locked up. But I'm going to go downstairs in the basement where I hear somebody laughing, giggling, screaming, and all this stuff. No. And then she took lead. Okay? You got the white girl telling her, no, don't do it. Where your gun at? I don't want to be there. I'm sitting here like, you should be saying that, okay? But she went down there and it was a TV playing. A home movie of this guy, I guess, who probably used to live on the property. And he trying to catch somebody in the act. And it was this guy with a pig, like a real pig head on, playing around in the forest. And I'm just sitting here like, what type of shit is this? Okay. It's giving me so many horror movie teas that's been going on, because when they finish looking at the movie, while they looking at the movie, we see these figures on the video camera that Cuba is looking at from his hotel. He's looking at the security camera footage of people going into the house and walking around the house with bushing knives, with pitchforks and torches and stuff like that. And so he trying to call the cops, and he like, I know them bitches ain't gonna come, so I need to go ahead and go out there. And they hear him walking up in the house, so they basically, the door closed on its own. I said, you need to keep that door closed, because that's for your own fucking protection right now, because you don't know what the fuck is going on upstairs. They was downstairs for like 20-30 minutes before they come upstairs, and when they do, the whole house got these yarns and stick figures just hanging down. I said, what in the Blair Witch Project is going on? I'm sitting here like, the hills have eyes. What is the oh my god, it was giving me so many different horror movies from the 80s that was like
crap, but still
entertaining but crap. Like, it was giving me Evil Dead teas and stuff like that. And I just watched that movie. I said, are you serious? This shit was stuff. Okay. Put that down in the comments. Which movies that y'all did you think that it reminded you of? Because I know it reminded some people of some stuff, and like, I'm thinking of it, but I can't remember right now. But basically, they was down there, they was spooked and all that stuff, and then finally Cuba gets his ass there, and the wife Shelby is like, look, I'm out of here. I don't want to be here. All this stuff is going on. It's craziness and all. Mind you, the people are walking past the window as they talking and shit. Like, it's crazy. Shelby said, I'm done. And she gets out and get in the car and she starts driving. Shelby is driving and she ain't trying to hear nothing from nobody. Matt, a.k.a. Cuba, is calling. Okay? She finally answers the phone, and he was like, where you at, babe? I mean, come on, babe. And next thing you know, she looking down at the phone. I'm looking somewhere else, and I pop up. She didn't hit a bitch. I said, oh, shit, and you didn't hear this white-on-white crime that's going on in this movie. She didn't hit a no. And then there's a white-on-white elderly crime. Like, you're doing the most up in here. So next thing you know, we trying to figure out who this person is. She pulls over. And she's trying to go see, oh my God, miss, are you okay? Where are you? Do you need help? This woman is getting up with a butcher knife in her hand that got blood on it. And you are steady going after her trying to see, girl, fuck the insurance reason. She walking perfectly fine for me, okay? She get up, she can walk straight, and she walked into the forest. That obviously means that everything is fine. She look raggedy as fuck. She ain't got nothing to lose. So therefore, I'm in the clear. Let me get my ass back in the car and drive the fuck on off. No, I'm going to follow her. Mind you, the lady was Kathy Bates, okay? I was like, oh, here we go. Basically following this lady into the forest and then gets lost. And then you turn on the flashlight because you see other lights. Bitch, turn that shit off. Turn that shit off. And what else was in there? It was them same yarns and things, hanging around in the trees. I was like, look at the shit that you done got yourself in. People coming out the forest with pitchforks and torches, and then this guy come out with a scalped ass head. I said, so who did it? Did the Indians do it? Is these what the colonists did? That's what.
It's the colonizers.
What's the Native American? What's going on? Is that what it is? Y'all trying to tell us? Child, I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this season because it was such a mystery. I want to know if Lady Gaga really gonna be on this season because so far we've seen Kathy Bates, and we've seen Angela Bassett, of course, Sarah Paulson, and now we see Cuba Gooding Jr. on here. But y'all tell me how y'all felt about this opening episode. It was okay. It wasn't nothing like, oh shit, until she hit Kathy Bates. I was like, you ain't have to do that. But other than that, y'all tell me how y'all feel. I'll see y'all later.